Dear friends of Spirit of Joy, grace to you and peace. Pastor Eric here with week 4 of our 2024 Lenten devotions. We are on our journey to Holy Week and to Maundy Thursday, looking closely at the 12 disciples of Jesus, how their walk alongside him impacts and instructs our walk of faith here today. This week our theme is Jesus is our friend. We know the famous song, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, and we talk about Jesus in familiar language. He's comfortable to us. I want to talk, though, about a particular scene and then those who were closest to him. If you want to go and read, I encourage you to look at John 13, 18 through 26, and the interaction there with the unnamed beloved disciple, one who many think maybe was John himself. There are 3 disciples on this journey who we know basically nothing about from the scriptures. Their names appear, and there are a few little references to them, but they don't appear in any major stories. They don't have any interactions with Jesus. We don't hear their voices anywhere. Tradition, though, has them being among the closest to Jesus. Jude, also known as Thaddeus. We talked about the difficulty of names, especially because there are often multiple names for people. Matthew and Levi, Bartholomew, Nathaniel, believed each of those to be interchangeable names, one for the other. Jude, aka Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot or the Canaanian, and then James, son of Alphaeus. Those 3 in our scriptures are identified in the lists, yes, of the 12 disciples, but then otherwise what they carry together in common is that they are named the brethren of the Lord. Perhaps the early church thought that they were related to Jesus, brothers or cousins, people who were closest to him. And we use that today to talk about friendship with Jesus. It's weird to think about our Lord having friends and personal, intimate relationships. And yet, why wouldn't he? Jesus was indeed fully divine, but also fully human. One understanding of Genesis chapter 2 is that God, in God's being as triune, overpoured into creation because God, in its very nature, desires and needs companionship. And so the story of walking through the garden to be with Adam and Eve is God drawing near. That same idea can be applied to the incarnation, to Jesus being born in Bethlehem, that God puts on flesh to draw near to humanity, to restore that Garden of Eden relationship. These 3 help us to understand that, and the story of the beloved disciple draws us even deeper. To be so intimate one with another that he would lean back on his chest and ask him a question is really quite something. But of course, Jesus touched, Jesus had friends, Jesus loved. All of those things, if he was fully human, he experienced pain on the cross and the ecstasy of being in relationship with brothers and sisters. We have an opportunity to draw near to Jesus. He gave us language for God that was Abba, Daddy is the best translation of that in our Lord's Prayer. And he offers to us a personal and intimate relationship. As much as last week we were reminded to stand in awe of God, that Peter, James, and John, those who knew him best among the 12, they still understood that this was the Messiah, the Son of the living God, and they stood in reverence. That didn't keep them from drawing close. And so this week, as we go throughout our daily lives, my encouragement to you is to pray to Jesus as friend, to allow yourself to imagine what it might be to be intimate with him, to know him in the way that you know those who you love best, because he is there, ready for us, drawing near to us as a friend. And that's good news.